Hachimura, left on top, he rises, shoots, scores! Scores! Confidence with a capital K. Step back three. Oh, it's there! Nestles in the basket. Cutting Mahimi to the basket. Slam! Two hands! Two hands! Young Mahimi the slam. And he's got to hurry to Beal. Beal catch, bank, and score! Catch, bank, and score! Wizards win! Beal bombed at midcourt by his teammates.
All right, so here we go. Today we debut our series Bubble or Nothing, a look at the bubble teams participating in the NBA restart at the end of July. 22 teams, 22 days. We start with the Washington Wizards. They sit on the outside of the playoffs in the 9th spot, 16 games under 500 and 5.5 games behind Orlando for the final postseason spot. Bradley Beal leads the team in both points and assists. Bad news for Washington. No John Wall or Davis Bertans in the bubble. Jay Williams back here with us. Stephen A., I'll start with you. Do the Washington Wizards deserve a spot?
Hell no. I mean, please. You're 16 games under 500. You're 5 games back. Okay, as far as I'm concerned, I don't think them or the Phoenix Suns deserve to be in. And I say that respectfully because I love my man Monty Williams, and I'm a huge Devin Booker fan. But you 13 games under 500, you 6 games back of the 8th seed. As far as I'm concerned, it should have been 20 teams instead of 22. That's just me. And then I look at Bertans being gone. That's a 15-point per game scorer. It's pretty much been the Bradley Beal show, who's had very little help as far as I'm concerned. We could do without the Wizards, but I mean, if you're the more basketball, I get it, the merrier. I'm just talking about folks that I think legitimately have a shot. I guess mathematically you can look at it. You 5.5 games back of the 8th playoff spot, so they giving you a chance, just like Phoenix is 6 games back, so they're giving you a playoff chance. But in the end, considering the coronavirus pandemic, considering our concerns because of the multitude of bodies that's going to be there, which obviously makes you more susceptible to catching the coronavirus because you're around people or whatever the case may be, that would be 2 less teams to be worried about at this particular moment in time, and everybody else will be within 4 games, with the exception of San Antonio. Everybody's within 3.5 games. I think that would have been plausible. But again, I don't mind seeing Bradley Beal because he's a stud. I know there's some people, I got some loved ones in D.C. that hate on him. They don't appreciate him nearly as much as they should, and they know who the hell they are. But outside of Bradley Beal, I ain't thinking about the Washington Wizards until John Wall gets back healthy and paired with Bradley Beal so they could be a playoff team again. Outside of that, as far as I'm concerned, I wouldn't have had any problem whatsoever if they were home in the nation's capital getting ready for the presidential debate.
Yeah, I'm in D.C., and I would have no problem if they were home also, but it's 2 different questions. I think you're right that if they would have left them home for safety reasons, that's okay, but the question is, do they deserve to be in the playoffs? And it's not their fault they're in the East. I think they deserve to be in the playoffs. They're technically the 9th-ranked team right now, and they're only 5 games back, and everything's changed up now. If they can stay within 5 games, get within 4 games, then we get a play-in situation. It's not their fault that they're in the East and in this bad, not bad, but this kind of top-heavy conference. I think that they deserve a spot in there as long as all those teams in the West. If we're not going to break it up, I know at one point there was discussions of breaking up the division of conferences and just put everybody in. Had we done that, I could understand maybe leaving them home, but right now it makes no sense. It does appear that maybe they don't even want to be there when they kind of gave Bertans the permission, essentially, to not show up. It seems like they don't have that, at least the Wizards management don't have that much confidence in what this team can do, and I can understand why they don't, considering they're so far below, what you said, 16 games below 500. I understand they're not going to win the championship, but they've certainly earned the right in a weaker East to get in contention, and I do want to see Bradley Beal in a play-in situation against Orlando, or maybe if the Nets fall down deeper to that spot. That's something I'm looking forward to see. But I'm with you. From a health and safety standpoint, maybe they should have left them home. But from a deserve standpoint, they deserve. It's like saying that if you win in the weaker conference, you don't deserve to be in the finals. Well, they're the 9th rated team or ranked team in the Eastern Conference. That means that they deserve to be in this bubble and have a chance, and they're only 5 games behind. It's not like they're 10 games behind. They deserve to be in a bubble with an easy remaining schedule. They could have made the playoffs in the other situation, though it probably is unlikely. They could have. They deserve this chance. They don't deserve to have it stolen from them any more than any other team does.
So a couple of things, guys. They're 5.5 games behind to be exact, okay? 5.5. And if you start getting into the layers of how this works, you look up who they're matched up against. You know, they're matched, they have a chance to go against the Nets. And you actually look at their 8-game schedule, what they're allowed to have, and you have to match that up against the likes of Brooklyn. So, you know, Brooklyn's in an interesting position here. No Kyrie Irving, obviously no Kevin Durant, Spencer Dinwiddie, Karis LeVert, 2 guys that obviously can excel this team. But their matchups are pretty hard. Their first 2 games, I think, are one is against Washington, another is against a team that's in the bottom. But then they play against the Celtics, then they play against the Bucks. Like the Brooklyn Nets could be an interesting situation if they actually start to spiral the other way. There is a chance. Now, do I think the chance is great for Washington? No, definitely not without Davis Bertans. And this, you know, he's had a phenomenal year. But I will say this, Stephen A. I know we like to look and talk about basketball from 100,000 feet up in the air, the top. But when you get into the nuances of watching the Washington Wizards play, if you got a chance, if you're a basketball fanatic, Stephen A., like I know you are, if you're a night, you know, I know you do Wednesday nights on NBA. You watch some of these games. Have you watched this team play? They are exciting. It's a style of reckless abandon. So you can't tell me at the bottom, even without Davis Bertans, the fact that you got Bradley Beal, a guy averaging 30. If they get hot with this team that they have, you know, guys like Shabazz Napier that can go, I'm not saying they're going to do it, but it's going to be one hell of a style to watch because it will be entertaining to watch them have a chance to do it, considering where the bottom of the Eastern Conference is with the Nets and the Orlando Magic. They have a legit chance. I'm not saying they're going to do it, but they have a chance.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.